And we're back for Ascendance Live podcast. It's just obviously right now Kevin is just helping his dad with making food. So it's just gonna be me, and then Sean's gonna be filling in for Kevin, at least until he joins.
Yes, I'm here.
Mike might show up later. He's probably just busy right now as well. So it's just gonna be us at the moment. We're gonna recap the episode and then get into the interview. All right.
Oh, we're starting?
Yeah.
So we begin the episode with Papa announcing the fact that this is going to be the last round of teams. So it's interesting. I don't think in the org series teams stop like after like a jury announcement was said. Like last round, team captains was going to be selected by the eliminated players, Jeff and Destiny, by picking out ping pong balls out of a bowl. However, those team captains aren't safe. So that's another like boom. Michelle is like happy that she survived and now she has like a lot of time to talk to people, announce that she found a new power. And that her power was like she can bench 2 people out of the captain's challenge. So she ended up choosing. I'm trying to read these notes. It's off of my phone. Anyways, she uses her power and she chooses Stephanie and Nick to sit out, which I'm like kind of confused. Why those 2 people? You know?
Yeah,
I would choose. I would choose 2 people who are absolutely like who I think are gonna win the comp. I mean, not social threats.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I agree.
Backtrack. Eddie has a confessional. He goes like, "Oh, he's kind of happy because like this is the last round to use their powers because they got the powers since the storytelling challenge. So he's glad that Michelle used her power." Jeff and Destiny ended up drawing for captain, and Jeff selects Jake, Destiny selects Eddie, and Michelle. This is a lot of fucking notes. Oh my god. Michelle is happy she got picked, even though she doesn't have immunity. And then they pick teams. On the black team, we have Jake, Peyton, and Nick. Green team, Michelle, Eric, and Stephanie. Red team, oh, someone just joined.
Hey, Mike.
It's Mike. Hey. Hi, Mike. Welcome.
Why are y'all already live?
Well, that's the time they scheduled. And also,
good question.
Why?
Kevin is cooking with his dad right now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I would love it if I didn't find out this was happening as I'm setting ping pong up for my nephew. Maybe I should have my phone on me. So I'll say that's on me. Anyway.
So those teams are followed. Again, black team, Jake, Nick, and Peyton. Green team, Stephanie, Eric, and Stephanie. Michelle, Eric, and Stephanie. OMG. Red team, Eddie, Mark, and Sarah. We cut to Jake having a confessional where he said that he chose Nick specifically, so if their team loses, the vote would be on him. And then Nick feels like he's in this bad position with Destiny being voted out. Like he just got blindsided with the vote. And just him being in the minority, like I hated this episode, like just seeing Nick struggle trying to find his footing and the fact that like people are just gaslighting him. Anyways, yeah, so he feels like he's a minority. On top of that, being sat out of the captain's challenge, he doesn't really like disclose like who he's frustrated with. Which I think honestly best part is not to do that. Like if he already thinks for someone who's in the bottom and you're disclosing that you're frustrated and people are like, oh, say names, like they're just pushing for you to say names. So then when those names are said, you're going to be the target. They don't have anything. Like, it's a shield thing. Then we cut to the next scene where Papa explains the next captain's challenge. They will all be given a turn order. Then they will sit down at the table. They will then be given 4 cards each. When it is their turn, they will play a card and place a chip from the card on the board. The goal is to get 5 cards in a straight line, either vertically, horizontally, or diagonally. Peyton talks about how Nick wants to throw this challenge since everyone wants him out in any way, so it's up to him and Jake. Then we cut to Mark saying he feels that he really needs to, that he really is. I don't do these. He feels like he would really do well in this type of challenge. The cop happens and red team does end up winning, where the other 6 players are up for elimination. Okay, thank God I'm done talking. Turn.
All right. You did good, though. Erica shares her power with Eddie. Peyton and Stephanie are very much down to vote for Nick. Nick, meanwhile, wants to take the box away from everyone else, which doesn't work when Stephanie calls him out on it. Nick explains to Stephanie the only person he felt 100% secure with was Destiny, and that he's been at the bottom and that everyone is protecting a duo. He wants to survive, but he assumes it will be him. Anyone have any thoughts on this?
I don't have many thoughts. I just wish that people gave time. It's just frustrating seeing someone at the bottom, and then when they're trying to like fight out of it, people are just like, oh, but like I have other stuff. I have other people that would actually want to work with me. Like for me, especially knowing someone's in the bottom, that's like a go-to person that I'll be like, oh, that's a number for me. Especially on a 6-person elimination, like something big could have happened here, but
yeah. The red team talks and think that the box means some kind of escape from the vote, which was a clue in the all-nighter video, and they all want to get their hands on it. They put other clues together from the video. They then find a steal a vote advantage, but there still seems to be a lock on the box overall. The Duckies talk things over, and how they have majority up until the final 5. And Michelle informs them that Mark just picked up the steal a vote. Peyton feels this is very much going to help him start playing for himself. Eddie shares with Sarah and Mark his power that expires this round. Stephanie joins Mark and Sarah in trying to find the key to unlock the box. Eventually, everyone joins in as well and wonders why Stephanie gave Mark the key. Eddie and Peyton talk things over, and the vote seems to be between Nick and Stephanie. Since Mark and Sarah won't be voting, and as long as the 2 of them vote for Nick, they will be solid, while the other 2 Stephanie. Any thoughts on this?
I'm going to correct you. Stephanie actually gave the key to Peyton.
Oh, yeah.
Peyton opens the
I was
box
just reading what was on the note.
That's entirely my mistake. Hi, everyone, by the way. I'm here. I'm just eating. That's entirely my mistake. Question. How did Peyton get the pendant? Because I clearly missed something.
Peyton opened the box.
Okay, so no,
Right,
so Mark and all of them basically like were looking for like clues and the key basically for the box. Stephanie ends up finding it. Mark was downstairs, and Mark was like so furious. He's like, "What the fuck? The box is gone." Peyton and Stephanie are upstairs. Stephanie goes, "You have the box." So that's how Peyton got the pendant.
Right. Okay.
All right. Oh.
Peyton brought the box upstairs. Yep.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay. The Duckies talk about how they are the hierarchy and how you simply can't have a good social game without it. The other alliance talks and thinks they all need to flush their powers this round. They all seem to go on to get Stephanie out and tells Nick the plan is to make them think the votes are on him, but then get her out. Stephanie walks in and is annoyed. Nick didn't tell her the vote was on her and that no one was honest with her. It seems people aren't budging with changing their vote.
And Mike's about to give us a drum solo.
We love that. Eddie brings out some sage in an effort to calm the house. Stephanie gets the sense that Erica, Jake, Michelle, and Nick are clearly working together. Sarah tells her to vote for Jake, which she feels will do this in an effort to keep him from getting to the end. She also wants Nick to throw a vote onto Peyton in an attempt to so that way he could go home with a pendant in his pocket on a revote. At the last second,
which was so smart by Sarah, let me just say. That was such a good strategy.
It was.
Even though it didn't work. It was a really, really smart idea.
Oh, yeah. At the last second, Erica recommends to Eddie to not use this power.
Which is honestly, like, I don't think Eddie was going to use it at all.
No.
Love Erica, but I don't think he was going to use it at all. Oh, he was. Okay, sorry, Papa. Thanks for the correction. Anyway, so we cut to everyone sitting at the couch in the living room, and Papa does a little thing. If you have anything to say, now it's time to do so. So basically, Stephanie comes up, brings up how people are perceiving duos are basically, you know, the people who are saying there are duos in the game are the ones that are pushing them to be duos in the game because of lack of communication. Jake is surprised when Eddie doesn't show up to the elimination since they're all... Oh, yeah. I've been there as well. Like, you can't just... If one person perceives people in a duo and it starts being a rumor around the whole fucking game, it's gonna eventually happen. Like, oh, let's just say me, Aly, and Mike and Kevin have a Final Four, but we never really did have a Final Four. But people are saying we had a Final Four. It's to the point that we're being forced to be a Final Four. But I don't know. Anyways,
exactly.
Yeah. So we cut to another scene where Jake is surprised that Eddie.
Oh, would you look at that? I named it. Not even a real alliance, Sam, and not even a real alliance, not even a real alliance, and I named it. Boom. I'm good. I'm the best.
Go. We're about to run this whole podcast, even though we already do.
Yeah, our alliance name is Mask.
I'm here for it.
All credit to me. Because we know someone here doesn't like to give me credit. But
wear your masks, kids.
Oh, I think I just broke my drumstick.
Anyway.
No, I didn't. Nope, that was something else. Anyway,
what else? Jake is surprised that Eddie didn't show up to the elimination since everyone was basically like expecting him to be there.
I feel like at least once an episode, Jake is just so confused about what's going on. And it's really funny to me.
Yeah. I don't know how he lasted this long.
Yeah, his read on things is just not there.
Stephanie walks up to the front and explains how she found half of a pendant. And then she goes, does anyone else have the other half? But then she goes, psych, I have the other half. I'll be using it on myself. Which was like, honestly, queen shit right there.
Queen.
Yes.
She said, I'm having my TV moment. This is my time to shine. No one else's. Erica walks up, plays her pendant. Which I'm like, no. But I get why she did it. She did it because she felt like she could potentially go home. Stephanie receives 4 votes, which all of them were nullified. So any votes for cast for Stephanie obviously did not count. Nick and Jake both received 1 vote, and it ties between them. And Jake is confused once again why he had one vote, and he did not hear his name at all. No one told him that his name was there. Yada yada yada. And then Mark is conflicted because he doesn't want either of them to go between Jake and Nick. As you should, Stephanie. As you should.
That was such a good moment.
Yes.
It was a good moment. Stephanie, I read that already. The revote happens, and if it goes to rocks, Peyton and Michelle would then draw rocks. So,
yep.
At this moment, when I saw there was a revote, I was like, "Please, Ty, please."
I wanted a rock draw.
I thought it was going to. I thought they were going to go to rocks. I was like, "Fuck."
I don't remember who was up for elimination, but was it 50-50 between two people, or was someone auto out? I forget.
It was a tie between Jake and Nick.
Yeah.
Stephanie and Erica were safe, so they couldn't get rocked.
Yep.
So it was between Peyton and Michelle.
Yep.
And Peyton had.
Oh my god! If Kevin gets draft fucked over a rock draw.
Well, thankfully it didn't happen, and we're gonna make sure it continues to not happen because I need to still be in this draft. But anyway, let's keep going. I'm gonna just shut up and eat my tacos.
Stephanie ended up being surprised that Nick was the other name and not Peyton. Erica also feels that Peyton, knowing about the pendant of power, she could not trust him anymore. Michelle, on the other hand, feels like the Duckies need to stick together and keep each other safe here. Erica votes for Jake because she did not want to risk going to rocks.
What the hell is that?
Someone's playing a video game.
Oh my god.
That sounds like the cart at Ally's work. That's really fucking loud, but she's not at work.
When people are leaving the garbage can.
That shit is so loud.
Anyway, we get to the second revote at a vote of 3-1. Nicholas gets eliminated. Sad face, crying emoji. Why? Because I lose another draft. I lost another person in my draft. Annoyed. And then we cut to Stephanie.
Evens it out a bit.
What do you mean it evens it out a bit?
Because I have one person left.
True.
And do better next time.
Then we cut to Stephanie explaining why she voted.
I'm notoriously bad at drafting.
Yeah, you are. But yeah, so we cut to Stephanie explaining her vote, how she flipped to get Peyton out, and it didn't work because it just caused her to be in the majority of the vote.
Right. I mean, at this point, I feel like probably one of Stephanie or Peyton is probably going next. I think they're both not in the greatest spots right now. And I feel like one of them is probably going to go very soon. I don't know which one, though, but we'll see.
Sarah brings up a good topic. She's very upset because Nick went home because she knew Nick was at the bottom and she wanted to keep him around. Nick feels he needs to be more forward about getting groups together, especially since he never had a definitive one. But he stayed true to himself and made organic connections and is happy with who he was close to, Mark, Destiny, and Sarah specifically. He's happy with how he played. Excuse me. He's happy with how he played aside from the missteps. So yeah, I think the way that Nick played this entire game organically.
Hey, I didn't say it's gonna. I said it could happen. You know, like. And here's the thing. We had someone on our Survivor podcast who said that someone was making it all the way to Final 2 and the next episode they left. So it's reverse psychology. If I say you're going to do bad, you're going to do well. There we go.
But yeah, Nick gets eliminated. Nick just tells his experience. Yes. And with that...
Welcome!
Oh my God, Nick! Who was dying in the background, may I say. I saw you cracking up at a lot of shit we were saying.
You guys are funny. I love this so much.
Thank you.
So
we aim to please.
Again, I'm going to say I'm really upset that you're here talking to you because I lost a person on my draft second time in a row.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I think that one immunity win for me was like my uptick, but you know.
I honestly thought so too. Like when you won that immunity, I feel like people would have gradually went to like, hey, like you're showing
me too.
A, B, C.
Yeah,
we need to work together. But no, people are hot-headed and want to stick to their own groups.
I think what also really hurts you, and like obviously we'll get into some of the more questions a little bit. I think what honestly really hurts you, Nick, is going into that one alliance by mistake. It's like at that point, it's like, we probably need to get him out.
Yeah, I mean, I remember walking in on that and I was like, this is weird. I didn't even say anything about that because it was like the weirdest conglomeration of people, and I was like, yeah, I didn't see this. And then it was weird.
Right.
I can't remember in the episode if you caught it, but it was like, who was in it? I think Mark was one of the people in it who I was working kind of close. And Mark was like, and Nick, and he like ushered me over. It was so weird.
I would have ran with that alliance and roll with it. If Mark was like, come in, you're here.
I'm pretty sure it drove itself into the ground almost immediately. But I was like, it was real awkward.
But yeah, going into the first question,
Sure.
How was your overall experience? Like, what did you expect going into a live game? Because obviously you played before, you kind of knew how to like the vibe is, but the format was new.
So that was my second live game. The first one I had played another one, which I took like mental notes in my head from the first one, because going into the first one I was like, oh, you know, you're so nervous. You're like walking in, and the first one that I played had a huge cast. It's like I just remember, like, I can almost remember vividly. I was like so quiet, which is not me. I'm very much an extrovert, very much like to be out and about and love that. But I was not that way in that game. So coming into Ascendance, which, okay, back up. At first, when I was playing Orgs, I was like, oh, I don't think I'll ever play a live game. And then I just was like, oh, let me just jump in and apply for this live game that's like an hour away. And then I played that one. Big game, not very much myself, but it was like, you know, dipping my toe in. And then I was like, I don't think I'll ever play something like Big Brother or Survivor or, you know, Survivor-ish-esque or whatever. And then Ascendance is like an hour away from me. So I'm like, oh, I'll just dip my toe in. So what was the class? My experience. It was just so much fun. I'm glad I did. I mean, I didn't think I was ever going to play a game where you directly vote people out, because the other live game I played, it's not directly voting people out. So going into this, I mean, I was nervous, but it ended up being such a fantastic experience that I see myself playing more of those types of games where you're directly against people. It's more social than anything.
Right.
So yeah, it was a great experience. I didn't even play Ascendance org. So going in, I had this like super fresh perspective, and it was like such a positive experience. So if you're thinking about playing, you've never even heard of Ascendance until you saw the show, please go play, because it's so much fun.
Unless you're me, who makes it their first org in his first boot.
No, not that.
Or me, who said, "Oh yeah, I know the entire game with third." Because I knew I was messy. But anyways, we don't talk about that.
Well, at least y'all didn't lose the org twice.
Oh, not twice.
Not that.
Does Ascend the Chaos really count?
Who said I was talking about me?
Oh, you're talking about Aly. Oh,
I've never played.
Anyway, So in the position the entire game, I honestly was like, Nick, I chose you in my draft because I was one, I didn't know you very well, and I knew the other people. Second, I was like, you might be a wild card who will impress me. And then watching you play, I was like, okay, wild card check, social game check. I did not expect you to be in the bile. What the fuck? Bottom in the early stages of the game, and I was like, fuck, please, someone just
bring me in, love me a little bit.
And no one did. So I, again, first time playing an Ascendance game, making it to the jury. I'm
Thank you.
because 3 of us here couldn't.
Literally. The only time I got jury in Ascendance is the first mini.
No.
Aly, you want to ask a second question?
Yeah. Could you send me the link again? Because I don't have it.
Steph, it's okay because you're gonna win live. Period. You're gonna win live, right?
Stairs. Sits. This is awkward. Hold on. It's not loading.
Oh no.
AKA the questions aren't there. Anyways, we can just improvise.
Right. I think the next one is like why you over others.
Like why I left over others?
Yes.
Because they played idols.
They
Well,
played
yeah.
idols. No. I think
Because they played.
I don't know. I mean, watching it back now and seeing a little bit more going in. I mean, it makes sense. It was generally like 4 duckies and then me and Stephanie. So obviously it was going to be me or Stephanie at that point. And then, I mean, it ended up being Stephanie, but not Stephanie. So I feel like it was the right move. I mean, obviously minus the idol, it was Stephanie. I don't know. I mean, I had been fighting for a few rounds now. I kind of laid low. The first few rounds it was like just survive until my name got thrown out for the first time, like round I think 4-ish. Was when my name like started getting traction, and then it was like, okay, let me rear my head a little bit and do what I can. And unfortunately, like once my name was thrown out one time, it was just like downhill from there. Especially like once I lost one of my closest allies, and then I was just blindsided in that vote. It was just like it kind of, I guess, I can see why it was me, for sure. Although no one told me to throw a vote on Peyton. Didn't know people wanted that. Wish I knew that during that vote, because I most definitely 100% without a doubt thrown a vote on Peyton because I literally needed anything. But other than that, yeah, I mean, it was me or Stephanie, and she had an idol, so.
So, you kind of touched up on it earlier, like playing your first live and then like strategy shift.
Yeah.
Just to confirm, Ascendance Live was your first ever like vote out game.
Yeah, it was like directly voting people out of the game. I played another game. I'm dancing around the name because I don't know if I'm allowed to say the name, but you vote people into elimination, and then you do a challenge, and then you lose that challenge and you're out. You're not directly voting people out of the game.
Mm-hmm. Not this. I was waiting for the exterior noises to just disappear. Not that. I was reading my. Hold on, give me a second.
I got the okay. So it's Mayhem Manor. So I played Mayhem Manor, which is not a vote people out of the game. So, which is also a fun game.
I know Mayhem Manor. I was supposed to play season 3.
That was my first live game, season 3.
And then I backed out because I didn't have money. And then I got a job a month later when I could have paid the first payment. So, but yeah, has like your strategy like overall changed from your first to this game as
Yeah.
far as like a voting out game?
I haven't played another. Oh, you mean like in general, even including
Yeah.
orgs? Yes, I am. Yes, I would say. I would say so. I'm a little bit more like. I was always kind of like loyal. I still am loyal, but now I'm a little bit more like, oh, you know what? Let me look. Take a step back, look at the whole chessboard type thing instead of a little bit more loyal. And even since then, I've played another live game, and I definitely did that in my last live game. So yeah, no, my strategy has definitely changed. And seeing myself play is definitely like a ooh, whoa, like sometimes it's like a big oof. So yeah, no, watching myself play has helped a lot actually with strategy for myself.
Anyone else have questions?
Any tips and advice you'd give for like a future Ascendance Live contestant?
I mean, like I said in my first live game, I was so quiet. So going into Ascendance, I was like, I'm going to be a little bit more myself and be the person that I know I am, especially like in groups and social settings. So Night Zero, like honestly, looking back, I don't think I did anything wrong. Night Zero, I feel like I did a good job of being like myself and being fun. I think where I lacked was just like I needed to step in and say like I want to work with you. I want to like do that. Like that's the next kind of like you need to like pipe up. I can't just wait for people to like me so much they want to work with me. Like I should be the one spearheading that. So my biggest advice going in is like, I mean, I played orgs for 4 years by the time I played this. Like, be confident with yourself. Be confident with like the way you know how to play. Like there are games I've absolutely flopped, but there's some games I've killed too online. So I'm like, I need to just take that energy and like apply it to being face to face. I mean, that's number one. I go in there confident. You know how to play. We're mostly all fans of these shows that we've watched. We've seen mostly every season of most of these shows. Like we'll go in there being confident the way you know how. I mean, that's all I can say. Like that, I think that was my biggest misstep, really, if nothing else. So
You're not the first person to say to be yourself. Every person that we interviewed said to be yourself, which
yeah.
is a good thing.
Yeah, because you just overthink. Like you say one little thing, it's like, oh my god, did I say that? Oh my gosh, is that gonna like take someone off guard? You overthink. I did that in my first game. Oh, it was horrible. That's why I didn't say anything, because I was like, I'm gonna say one little thing, it's gonna piss people off. And then Ascendance, it was like, okay, I've got the drink a little bit and be cool thing down, but like now it's like, okay, get like force yourself more into the strategy. I sure did, Papa. Thank you. Made it further than you though. But yeah.
Excuse me. Let's backtrack a little bit because I didn't know Aly was gonna ask that question. So for someone who's never heard of Ascendance, not knowing the format, and people in this cast knowing what Ascendance is like, was it hard trying to like maneuver yourself, finding powers, even like a glimpse of some like I don't know, just like was it hard?
I think no. Okay, no, it's a good question.
I think you know what I'm saying.
No, I know what you're saying. First off, the way people be looking for powers is reckless. I was like, these people, are we not going to vote them out? The way that you would see, like, I love Stephanie to death, but the way you'd see her looking, and I mean, she's not like, no one's looking, and she's like peeking behind a door like this. She's just, hey guys, can you help me lift up this table? I'm like, girl, are we not going to do something about this? So like people like were reckless looking for powers. I mean, like I did my fair share, but I was just like, whatever. If they're looking like that, I don't know. But yeah, going in, I mean, there were more powers than I expected there to be. So that was a little bit of a shocker, which is not a bad thing. So that's one thing. I just feel like, yeah, you were Stephanie, and no one said anything. No one said anything about it. I'm like, girl, are we not gonna say anything about this? And then it was like, being a newbie at Ascendance, I feel like that should have made me more of a hot commodity than I kind of was. But that, that's just an opinion. Like if it were me, when I play orgs and when I play games, I love people who have never played or don't know what they're doing. I mean, I love to pick people up like that. So
Me too.
yeah,
And then use me as a shield.
absolutely, 100%.
But yeah, no, I think. Hi.
Hi.
Don't know who you are. As far as questions, I already have asked all what I wanted. Mike and Aly. Mike, if you've been paying attention, do you have any questions?
I have been paying attention. I just don't have any questions.
Aly?
What was your favorite comp in the season?
Oh, I do have something to say about competitions. But my favorite competition in general, I hate to say I think I didn't work with Nick because he would explain it hard. I was Stephanie. Sorry. I can clear up on that too. For a second. These are things I've been waiting to say. My favorite. I hate to say the one that I won, but the one that I won. I mean, it was kind of like balance. I like to balance things, and I think I work well under pressure. I will say in a few of the episodes, you saw me do stupid shit during competitions. I'm not that dumb, I promise. There are thoughts behind some of those things. In the second round when we had to read the unscramble thing and then run to the door or run out to sit in the chair to do that, I looked really stupid because I was trying to sit next to Destiny, if you don't forget. But going into that competition, I had already thought out we're not going to stay in this because they kept a very clear runway for the door. I was like, we're not staying in here. And then we drew for spots. I was in like the third to worst spot. So when I was reading my paper, I was flying. I was like, I had no time to waste because even if I'm fast, like I'm one of the furthest from the door. So I was just like, read what I could and try to guess what they want me to do. So that was my kind of thought process. Or if I were closer to the door, maybe I would have taken another 2 or 3 seconds. So yeah, I wanted to clear that up because I just looked dumb, but I promise I was just going really fast because I was in the worst spot or one of the worst spots.
I would have probably done the same thing. So
yeah. I was like, I just drew one of the worst spots. So I was like, let me go fast. And then also about the hierarchy comment, that's actually probably my only regret of the game, is I didn't say names. Nick tried to be sneaky on that comp. I did try to be sneaky, but it worked against me because I looked dumb. But with the hierarchy comment, because I think I was a little bit vague, and that was my only regret, actually. And you said before I came on that usually at that you don't want to say names. I mean, at that point I had nothing. I should have said names because maybe it would have given me something in the game. But I did think, in fact, I didn't just think Stephanie was in the hierarchy. Actually, in my head at the time, I thought Stephanie was the head of a lot of things going on. And afterwards, when Stephanie was like kind of grilling me, I don't mean that in like a mean way, but she's like kind of grilling me to get out, and I'm like trying to think of something to say because I'm like, it's you, girl, you're the hierarchy. But she was the only one to really grill me. Nobody really tried to get it out of me. So yeah, I mean, that's it. That's all I wanted to clear up. I mean, yeah.
Well, it was actually nice watching you play.
Thank you.
For someone who, again, doesn't know Ascendance and like maneuvering themselves, like I would kind of the same with Jake, but like you made more. I don't have anything against Jake, y'all. I just want to clear that up.
We love Jake.
We stand Jake in this, but I don't know. Anyways, I promise I'm not being shady. But I just like the way that you maneuver yourself in this game. You are in the jury, you're voting for someone to win. So
Yeah.
Again, I congratulate you on that because not many newbies, Kevin, can even make it that far in a game. But yeah, I'm proud of how you played.
We can be in the hierarchy together, Stephanie, which we should have been.
You played very well.
Period.
You should be
Thank
proud.
you, thank you, thank you, thank you. But I'm excited to be a juror, so I love being a juror. So
Yes.
Woo! We love that.
Okay. Aly. Aly,
What? Oh.
I think we're done here.
Oh, okay. Anything else or? Oh my god. All right. We're gonna start by giving Nick his outro. Just like if you have anything to plug or anything.
watch Ascendance Live, apply for Ascendance Live. I think they've already closed apps. I don't know if they've closed apps for the next season, but next time you see it, go play. Take the dive, go do it. You never know what's gonna happen. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for being on here. You're always welcome on a podcast for anything. And
good luck in 1984, by the way.
yes.
And
obviously
watch that
congrats
game.
obviously congrats on making jury.
I have.
Thank you so much.
All right. We're gonna let Mike and Sean do their outros.
Huh?
That's it. I was doing dump candy corn, but I just had a handful.
First of all, ew. Anyway, you can follow Mike at
Wonderpuff16, Twitter, Instagram. Yeah, that's it. I don't really do much.
And then Sean.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Every time.
Yes. Again, you're probably gonna be tired of me saying this. If you haven't already, listen to Duke's podcast, Lost at Sea. He pretty sure interviewed Nick as well. Go listen to Duke. I think on Spotify and Apple Music. If you want to send in merch like this, just a basic OG logo. All things Ascendance. Follow them on YouTube, Ascendance Live, Facebook, Ascendance Live as well. I can't plug that anymore because we're over. But if you're planning to move to Virginia Beach, October of next year, haunt season, you'll see me back there scaring people again. If not, you might see me in a different haunt. Who knows? Yeah, you can follow me at Sean Dairo with 2 O's on Twitter. If not, that's fine. I don't care. I don't use Twitter anymore, but that's my Twitter. Bye. You can take me off now.
All right. Well, thank you for being my co-host today.
Just today. I've been a co-host since
the
you're
start.
welcome.
Main. Yeah.
Are you telling me there's a hierarchy in this hosting panel?
Not that.
Honestly, there is.
Stay tuned for Survivor and Meeting with Mally. Stay tuned for Spotlight coming up soon. Stay tuned for our cast reveal.
Yeah. Stay tuned for that cast reveal. Sorry.
All right. Oh my god. And I guess this is a good way to end it.
I want to cry. Stop.